So in terms of how I share information with students, the big ones are going to be email, social media like Facebook, Twitter.
So I will send out emails pretty regularly regarding academic policies, deadlines, ways to get involved on campus.
Well, first of all, I'm on an email a lot with students, and I try to email student groups like maybe by class or by major. When I hear of an event or I know of an event that would be interesting to them, I try to target certain emails to let them know about it. We also send, in our department, we send out a weekly bulletin that updates what events are coming up that students might be interested in. Before every registration period, I send very detailed information to all of the students by year and by major so that they know what they should be doing to prepare for registration, what they should be planning to register for.
I guess it kind of depends on what the student's coming in for. So for instance, if they're looking to find a research experience or an internship experience, that they've left with some solid leads to work up. If they're looking for a scholarship, that they've left with some potential scholarship opportunities to apply for. If they're looking for help with their schedule, we've cleaned up their schedule and they're able to kind of balance all their classes and other work obligations too. But I think also one of the most useful things to accomplish in an appointment is that sort of trusting, advising relationship that you build with that student. You want to build credibility with them. You want them to come back if they need help for something. You don't want them to self-advise. So a big part of it is just developing that trust and that rapport with the student so they feel confident in you and your abilities to help them out if they need it.
So what I've heard from students is that they really enjoy getting my emails regarding different events and information around campus. I'll often hear like, I didn't know about this, or I didn't know that this was the last day to add, for instance. And doing it in advance so they have planning time, perhaps. And it's ensuring that they're all receiving a consistent message.
Well, I think it's really about the details. I like to make sure that they have all the options, and sometimes my emails get really long, but they have it all.
I like to joke with my students that I'm their personal biology email spammer. So even if they haven't met with me yet, especially for the first year students, they're going to start getting Michelle email spam. So even if they don't know who I am yet, they're going to see my email or my name in their inbox at least once a week. And I think sort of developing that kind of credibility with them helps a lot. Like, okay, I got an email from Michelle this week, I got to read it.
Well, all students are different, and all students want to receive information in different ways. And there are, truthfully, some students who want to come and meet with me every quarter, which may be a little bit of overkill, but I understand that they have that need. There are other students who don't want to meet with an advisor at all, and they prefer to get their information by email, and I'm okay with that. As long as there's not anything pressing that we really need to meet about. So I'm happy to plan my communication around what that particular student's needs are. So if I have a student who would much rather get their questions answered by email, I can work with that, or phone calls. I try to gauge it around the student's needs.
Well, it's interesting because I think that students have the exact same documents that I have. They can pull their transcript, they can look at a degree progress report. If they've met with me before, they have a fairly annotated and detailed graduation plan. And if they're coming back to talk to me, it's not because they don't know what they need to graduate or which classes to take next. They're looking for a connection with an individual at the university, maybe who's not a faculty member. They're looking for a guide through the environment of their college education. And so for me, everything hinges on that conversation, that face-to-face contact that's not solely anchored in a transcript or a credit evaluation. It's really about the connection between two individuals, me and the student, or the student and his or her advisor.
Well, I'm all about the options and the details. So I will give a student all kinds of information so that they can make the decisions that they need to make I try to anticipate what they need and then make sure that they have the information when they leave, so that when they go to think about which way they need to go or what choices they need to make, that they're fully informed. So some students don't love all the options, and that's okay. I try to read that and try to, dial it back a little if they don't want all the info. But most students really, they're like, yeah, tell me more. Oh, I didn't know that.
What I think is the most helpful and beneficial in terms of what I'm delivering is that they're receiving consistent and accurate information, whether that be regarding academic policy or co-curricular involvement and opportunities for them to get involved outside of the classroom. It's ensuring that they are aware and knowledgeable of what they need to be as a student, and empowering them to take the responsibility of what does it mean to be a college student. I want to ensure that if they are having trouble finding the information, that they know that they'll get an email from me or a phone call to say, you might have been wondering about this, and this is where you can locate the information, making it very centralized as well, and just helping meet their needs, whether again that be academic, personal, or career-oriented, let's say. And I want to make sure it's clear and consistent information that I'm providing to them, whether that's in person or via email or our social media outlets.
Well, typically the information I provide in an appointment isn't the only information a student has from me. I send a lot of information by email or direct students to the appropriate pages of our institutional website for program information. But the most important thing to me is that it be precise and, above all, up to date. There's nothing worse than discovering that a student's been working with outdated information. And in the program that I advise, requirements change frequently. So it's really important to have up-to-date information.